really weird because when I go live at the moment, hoping that it works, I've got my AirPods in because they have a microphone on them and my sound's playing up. So they're actually noise cancelling, so I feel like I'm talking to myself because um, the AirPods are noise cancelling. I actually can't hear anything, um, which is really weird because I can't hear what's going on in the house, which is nice, but I can't hear. Hi Denise, how are you? Where are you from? So I'm just bringing up the video on my computer so that I can see any comments that pop up when I turn my camera around. This is a bit of an odd time for me to go live, and I have a reason. So I will just make sure I can see the video. So I hope you're all well and having a lovely Monday or Sunday if you're in, I think, is it still Sunday in the US, Denise? I'm just having a nice cup of tea. And I actually have a Stampin' Up cardigan on because it's freezing cold. I have to share a video. Actually out on a walk. Happy Sunday. I was out on a, hi Cindy, I was out on a walk earlier at a lookout. I live in a little village for now, and I was out on a walk and it was freezing cold, so I had my beanie and my scarf on and it was freezing. We had a severe frost warning this morning and it was very cold. But I came back home and I was doing the last of a card that I had to do. Well, I didn't have to do, but I chose to participate in a team swap because I'm part of one of my uplines is Kylie Bertucci. Some of you that are watching may be familiar with her. She's one of my uplines, and so I am part of the Crazy Crafters here in Australia, and we're doing a team swaps with the brand new products from the gorgeous new annual catalogue. If you don't have a copy of this and don't have a demonstrator here in Australia, I'm happy to send you one. Just click on the video link that's listed in the video description. I can get one of these out to you. But we're using the brand new products in that to create cards from the team swap. So I actually made, which I shared on my video the other day, you can go back through my videos on either my Facebook or my YouTube, and I made 10 of these cards, which I showed on the video the other day. So I made 10 of those, and that used the Bloomer Your Planter Suite and the Picture This die, which is some reflection from the card sleeve that I popped it in. But then I was having fun and chose to make another 10 cards, and I thought I shared that one with you, so I might come on and share the other card with you. So I made 10 of this one, and it doesn't look like much, but it's actually an interactive card. It's a bit fun, so I thought I'd come and share it with you. I've got the bits and pieces on my desk. You know what? I'm all motivated. I've gone and done my walk and I've got a few minutes to spare, so I'll come and share it with you. And it's using a product similar to the card that I shared the other day with the die that cut the rectangles. That was one that didn't coordinate necessarily with a suite. And it was a bit of a hidden gem in the catalogue. Hi, Angela. So I thought that one is a product that's easily missed in the catalogue because it doesn't coordinate with a stamp set, doesn't coordinate with a suite. It's just a hidden gem, a product that you wouldn't necessarily find unless you're looking for in the catalogue. So this die today that I'm going to use and show you is actually very similar. So it's a product that doesn't coordinate with a suite, doesn't coordinate with a bundle. It's actually a die that stands on its own. And unless you are really looking at the catalogue and really looking for it, you may not see it. And then I did share the stamp set that I'm going to be using in a post the other day because we had a gorgeous, I think they call it a super moon. So I'm using the To the Moon. I realize this is backwards, but you'll see it properly in a moment. The To the Moon stamp set. So I was really inspired to use this one. I actually love the fonts and I love this stamp set. I don't know why it just jumps out at me. So I thought I'll actually combine the die with this stamp set because the die can be used with any stamp set that you have or choose to use. So I think I might turn the camera around. I've got a few videos to film today, so I'm just going to have my cup of tea. I might just turn the camera around and share it with you too. Oh, you love the moon stamp set, Angela? I think it's really cute. So I'm just going to flip the camera around. Yep. Okie dokie. So I hope that you can see my desk okay. The temperature changed there too. It's a bit warm. Then as of last night, cooled again. Well, I'm off to Queensland next week, which is a bit more north than I am. So I'm in Tasmania, so down the bottom of Australia. And so I'm heading up north and looking forward to a little bit warmer temperatures. So I'm going to the oh goodness, going to sort of the Gold Coast, so a little bit of a warmer area. My audio is going in now. Oh no, I'm hoping it'll be okay. I know I've had issues with my sound, um, and it's actually my phone. So I'm trying to use my AirPods, but I seem to be having an issue with it. So I'm hoping it's going to be okay. So I do apologize about any audio. I'm going to have to buy a new phone. So I do apologize. I'll do my best. Okay, so this is the card that I made, and it is really, really fun. It uses a couple of new products. I might stand up so I can show you. So it might have been because I was away from my phone a little bit. So this one, to show you the beautiful paper, this one, where did I put the paper? Okay. Oh, it's right there. I've used so much of this paper, so this is going to show you just how much I love this paper because it's actually only one full sheet left. So this is the rose gold, gold and rose gold metallic specialty paper. Oops. And it is so much fun. It's actually smooth, but I am in love with it. So I'm going to be loving, and then I need to buy more of this because, as you can see, I've been loving it. So this one uses the gold of that, but the actual card is interactive. So it's got a little arrow there, which indicates that you turn this circle. So it says always reach for the stars. And then you turn this circle and you keep turning, and you can show some different images here. Whoops, I didn't stick that down too well. This is the one I have to adhere better. That's why it's out of its packet. And then I've got the moon there, so you can keep turning. So really fun. So how cool is that? And these are using a really cool die in the catalog. And then I've got the congratulations and then on the inside. So it uses two products in the catalog, and it's the Give It a Whirl dies. So that they are these ones here. And it's a big set of dies because it comes with obviously everything you need to make the interactive card. But even if you're not making an interactive card, there's lots of really cute individual pieces like the stitched hearts and these adorable clouds, which I've used the clouds on the card as well, and the stitched stars and this cute scalloped circle that can be used without doing an interactive card at all. So there's lots of possibilities with these dies, as well as I've used the To the Moon stamp set. So this one is really cute. I've seen some amazing stuff done with white ink and shadowing with the big moon. I love the phases of the moon. I have used the whole um, set of moons with the misty moonlight. So last year's in color is perfect for the moon, but you could use that in any of our blues or greys. But I've actually also done, hello mother, I've actually also done just one moon, and I'm going to do that by masking, and you'll see how I've done that in just a moment. So I've cut some pieces, but I thought I'll quickly share where you find these bits in the catalogue.
But before I get going with that, today is the last day to take advantage of our amazing Join Plus offer. So today is the last day of May. Oh my goodness, tomorrow is June, which means that today is the last day that you can get $114 of free product. So tomorrow it goes back to our normal joining offer. It's always a great time to join Stampin' Up because you're going to get a 20% discount and free product anyway. But at the moment, you get an extra $48 on top of what you normally get. So normally you get $66 in free product when you join, but at the moment you get 114. So right now it's an amazing time to join, and it ends at midnight tonight. So definitely, if this is something you're considering, I'd love to speak more to you with you about it more, but it is a very limited offer now because it ends at midnight tonight. So you absolutely don't have to join to be a business demo and do videos like I do or run it as a business. You can join just for the discount and to save money on your craft supplies. Um, so it's simply a $169 cost, and you get to choose $283 of product of whatever you choose, and it's free shipping on your kit. So that ends at midnight tonight. I can happy to talk to you about any of those details. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I want to get into crafting, but that is there if you were interested. So with the catalogue, with these Give It a Whirl dies, you'll find those right at the back in the die section. So in these dies, there's actually quite a few that don't actually coordinate with anything at all. Like the stitched greenery dies here, they don't coordinate with a suite or a bundle, so you may miss those, as well as the flower market dies, the layering diorama dies, the basic borders. We actually have lots of dies that you may miss because they don't necessarily coordinate. Hello, Mayaswari and Joy and Anita. Um, they don't coordinate with a suite or a bundle. Now I'm trying to find where the Give It a Whirl dies were. They're in the back here, and now I can't find them. Oh, there they are. Give It a Whirl dice. They're on page 163, and they're $68 to get the whole set of them. They're a bit of a higher price point because you get so many of them, but they're definitely worth the cost because you're getting so many dies. You can, hello Emma, you can make so many things with these gorgeous dies. So they're on page 163. And if you go to page 57 of the catalogue, you'll actually see an example which is really cute, using the Stella birthday set of just how they've used these dies and an example of how they're used. Really cute, and they've shown another little example. So really cute, and see, this is why you may miss them because you think that they go with this, but they don't actually. They're a standalone thing. So here it just gives a little tip on how you use those. And then the To the Moon set, we might have a look quickly, and you can see the samples that Stampin' Up have provided, just as a little example. Let's have a look. I think they've only got one example in the oh no, they've got two examples of how the To the Moon set has been used in the catalogue. Hello, Sandy. How are you? It must be late at night where you are. So that's an example of how those are used. So I'm going to get started and make this interactive card because there's a few components to how it's made. So I have pre-cut some pieces and I have run out of the gold, so we're going to use the rose gold. Well, I haven't run out of the gold, but I've only got tiny little scraps left because I've been loving this sick. I'm going to need to buy some more. So I've got a card base of Night of Navy, and then I've got some basic black and basic white for the inside, as well as a tiny strip of the rose gold just to accent for my inside. And then I have a piece of the rose gold, which I've cut to, let me tell you, I'm going to tell you a metric because this is a metric card. So it's cut to 10.3 by 6.3. Now we're going to cut another piece of Night of Navy, which I thought I'd done before I went live, but I actually hadn't. So I'm going to cut it down with you. So I actually just want this piece. It's actually not going to be my standard layer that I would normally use. So I'm going to cut it to 10 point. Oops, lost my scoring blade. My scoring blade keeps falling out of my trimmer. Okay. So we're going to cut it to 10.3 by 14.7. I'm hoping I've just done that right. I'm winging it with you all. It's weird when I go live on Facebook and I'm looking at my computer for comments. Yes, that's the right size, because it doesn't always tell me the current comments. Okay, so what we might do is Kayla's going to take a sip of tea just to update you on that. And what I might do is open a new Tombow glue because I don't want you to have to watch me. Hello, Kylie. I don't want you to have to watch me tapping on my glue every 2 minutes to get the last remaining bit of glue out, because that's what I've been doing because I'm really stingy with my glue. But I thought you probably don't need to watch me be doing that. So what I'm going to do is take my piece of Night of Navy, and now I've got a new glue. I only have to gently press on it because I have been squeezing out the last remaining bit of my tube of glue. Because if you missed the start of the video, I've actually been making a crazy amount of these cards. So the card I'm making, I've actually made many of because they're for a swap. So I'm just going to adhere that down, and then I'm going to take my linen thread, and when I've got kinks in my linen thread, I just run that over my fingers. So before I adhere this to the card base, I'm just going to wrap around where this joins and tie a bow. And then I can take my scissors and just chop the ends. And if that's sitting, you really want this bow to sit right at the edge because we're going to be running the dye over the top here. So I'm just going to have that sitting right at the edge. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit loose. I'm going to add some adhesive to this piece, and then I can add that onto my card base. And then that step is done. And then what I might do is just to get the inside piece done and out of the way, I might adhere, oops, now I'm throwing my glue. I might just adhere the extra rose gold, which is about 2 centimeters by 14.1. And then I'm going to run a small strip of linen thread along the bottom as well. I'll come back and stamp the inside as we're doing our stamping when we get going. I just want to get these pieces off my desk. Well, not off my desk, but make sure I've got all bits adhered down that I want adhered down. So I'm going to adhere this to my layer of basic black, which is cut to 14.3 by 9.9. I generally use standard layers for all my cards. I do in the tutorials that I sell in my tutorial store on my website. I do always mention the imperial sizes as well for all my cards. Right, we'll stamp that in a moment. So that's our basic card bit done. Time for a sip of tea. I'm going to refresh the comments. You're watching from Florida. What's it like? What's the temperatures like in Florida? Hello, everyone that's joining. Okay, so now we're going, oh, look, when you've got your dies magnetized and you've got a metal ruler. Okay, so now we can cut our pieces that we need. So we're going to need to cut this die here out of basic white, as well as our circle spinner, which we're going to need one of these cut out of basic white as well. Now I like to use thick because it's something that's going to be used as an interactive piece. So you're going to get it turned around a lot. So you probably want to use your thick basic white for that. So I'm going to use a thick, and I would suggest that. Now I've also used the stitched cloud dies, and I've cut one of each out of Coastal Cabana. So I've already pre-done those. And out of the stitched star dies, so just one, there is two of them, but they're exactly the same. I have cut one pass of stars, and I've cut those out of gold foil. I do have too many here. And then I've also taken the little tiny arrow die here and cut that and just kept the larger arrow out of gold foil as well. So they're the pre-cut die pieces that you will need. I just did some of them ahead of time. So we're going to take a scrap of basic white to cut our piece out of. That one will fit there. And then we need another scrap to cut our circle piece. And then I'm just going to use my
die cut machine. I always die cut to the side, but you know what? Just for you guys, I'll bring Gerard in. Gerard hasn't been seen for a while.
Good old Gerard. Gerard is a good reason to join Stampin' Up! Because you can get one of these a lot cheaper if you join, especially today. Take advantage of that amazing joining offer and get an amazing die cut machine like this cheaper. There's that. That's how it comes out with a pre-done circle in the middle, so you don't even have to punch it out. And then we're going to take our other piece. Now with pieces like this, particularly larger dies, they're better to be put on an angle, otherwise you'll get a big clunking sound with your machine. So I'm just going to put that on a bit of an angle, place my plates in, and then run that through. See how smooth that was? Right, Gerard's going back to the side, and then we've got our piece done. And then all of our die cutting is done. So there is actually a little circle cut out. It's just I need to poke that through. Okay, so that bit's done. Now we need to do some stamping. So to do this, I'm going to bring in my To the Moon stamp set, and I'm just going to push my die cut machine out of the way because I need some blocks. So I have stamped Always Reach for the Stars, and I love our new our new photopolymer sets have come with a slightly different configuration. And the cool thing is that the stamps mount directly onto the case and the pictures are printed so you know exactly where to put them. It is so much better. I'm loving it. And I'm just trying to refresh the comments on my computer, so I do apologize. It wasn't working so well for me. Oh, stop being silly. Okay, hopefully I can still see. Okay, so I'm going to take the Always Reach for the Stars and just mount that onto my block. Now, with the die cut, you'll see it actually kind of embosses sections onto it when you run it through. So I've actually used those as a guide for where I need to stamp, because you want to kind of stamp in 3 spots, so when you turn it, you've got little windows for different things that are going to go round as different sections that you can turn into. So you'll kind of see them as you stamp. So I've seen people do the Stamparatus, but I didn't find that I needed to. I just stamped within where I could see that. Because I'm using photopolymer, I didn't find that it mattered too much. So what I'm going to do is bring in my stamp chamois so I can kind of clean and put away as I go to keep my desk a bit cleaner. And then I'm going to bring in the moons, so the phases of the moon, and this little, do you call it a constellation or something? I'm not really good with my terminology. Now I'm actually going to do something pretty cool, because I actually only wanted the one moon. Actually, I might mount up all the bits we need. So we're going to need all the tiny little stars. So I'm going to bring in a few of my little blocks and mount up my tiny stars. Okay. And I might mount up my...
Let's just get all the stamping done, shall we? Might need a bigger block. Okay.
So, where did I put my piece? It's disappeared on me. It's probably somewhere really silly. Right, it's right there. Okay, so for the piece with the stars, I'm just going to stamp a few stars in some stamped off Daffodil Delight, as well as, so a bit of a mixture. So I've stamped once in full colour, stamped off. So I've just got a mixture of Daffodil Delight, little tiny stars. So that's using this little collection of stars here.
And then I'm going to take some pumpkin pie and use my
Just to stamp twice.
and then I'm going to do something cool with these moons. I'm going to take some washi tape and I'm actually going to cover on either side of that full moon. I'm actually going to cover it over like so. And then I'm going to take my Misty Moonlight stamp
And just with the corner of the ink pad, I'm going to ink up the full moon. And then I'm going to remove the washi tape. Make sure you do this step, remove the washi tape. So that way, you've just got that full moon inked. And then I'm going to stamp that full moon. So then you just get the one moon. It's really cool. And while I've actually got this out, the moons are what I'm going to stamp on the inside of the card. So while I've got that out, I'll ink up all of those and stamp that on the inside because that's what I'm going to use there anyway. Love my stamp chamois, it makes life so much easier. Okay, so the
Two bits, or the next 3 bits of stamping are actually heat embossing. So we can do them all at once. Hello Sally and Maria Sandra. Thanks for joining. Okay, so bringing this in.
going to do all of my heat embossing. So we're going to need a scrap of Misty Moonlight, and I've got a really large scrap, so I'm just going to cut it down because I actually couldn't find a small scrap of Misty Moonlight, and I have this piece here, so I'm just going to use that. Okay, so I'm just going to add some powder. Take a sip of tea, a cup of tea. Take a cup of tea. Right, now I'm going to use some gold embossing powder and some Versamark. And I'm going to take just this star image here and also this constellation, and I've got the congratulations. So I'm heat embossing 3 things. So the star, I'm going to add to my collection of stars over here. With the constellation, I hope it's called, I don't really know what this is called. I'm going to stamp that there. So I may just quickly do those first.
Add some embossing powder.
I'm going to put that to the side. I haven't heated it yet. And then for our sentiment, I'm going to add that to our Misty Moonlight. So I'm going to stamp that down onto the Misty Moonlight. Don't know if that's stamped quite enough, but we'll see. Add some embossing powder, tap that off. That should be good actually. I'll cover over that, and with the extra embossing powder, just going to put that back into the jar. So I've got our pieces that need to be heated up. Oh, sorry, I knocked the camera. I'm going to bring in the heat tool. I'll just let that heat up for a second. Has anyone watched the show Bloodlands, the Irish crime drama? I've just started watching it and I'm getting slightly hooked. Has anyone else seen it? Does anyone else watch shows while they're crafting is what I want to know. I'm watching, I need to get back up to date though. I'm watching Handmaid's Tale. Alright, so this should be heated up. So I'm just going to melt my embossing powder. Now, be careful not to overheat your embossing powder. You just want it melted because you can burn embossing powder. So that should be enough. And then I'm going to melt my embossing powder on this one. So as you can imagine, this is my 11th of this card, so I've done a few, but they were a lot of fun. Okay. So now I've done.
do is bring in this piece again, and then we're going to use these fabulous products, which are the round and square brads. So these were new to the annual catalogue as well.
You must be thinking, what on the earth? I feel like I'm going back to the 90s, because brads are quite an old-fashioned craft thing now. But these are, yes, I was heating from the bottom. I actually do a bit of both. I find that heating from the bottom, I get a more even heat, but sometimes you do need to heat from the top. But I'm a bottom heater. I feel like it doesn't blow the embossing powder as much, but you can either or is fine. I just tend to heat from the bottom. So these come in a round or a square. So there's a square and a round. But this particular type of interactive card will need you will need a brad. So we're actually going to pop our piece, and I have forgotten a step actually. There's one more bit of die cutting, otherwise we're not going to see anything at all. So you need to go back to our dies. We will actually need another die. So this die here is going to be our window. So on this piece here, we're going to need to line this die up. So we might move these pieces. And we'll bring Gerard back in. For those that don't know, this is actually not called Gerard. It's just that I call my machine Gerard. And then with this die here, you want to line it up with the hole. So the hole here, you want to line up with the hole in that die. And then just lay your plate over the top. And then run that through. And that will create your window. So that was the missing step. Now keep this little piece for a moment. We will probably use that. Now this piece here, see that creates the window in which we can see things. So we're going to pop our die straight through that hole and then through the hole there. And then we're going to stick that. So when we turn, we'll be able to see all of our pretty things there. How cool is that? So then we can take some dimensionals now and adhere this to our card. Now you want to make sure your dimensionals do not stick to this circle. So just apply them everywhere but that circle. So make sure they're stuck down and take your backings off. And then we can stick this to the card. And I'm just going to roughly stick it towards the top, but about there. Then with our little arrow that I've pre-dyed,
This would be good on some adhesive sheets, so re-stick it to some of our adhesive sheets. I probably should have done that, but I didn't. That was my bad. So I'm just going to apply thin bits of adhesive, making sure I get it on the whole arrow. And I'm just going to give that so people know to turn that wheel. Okay. So then places that I put things on this desk sometimes are very random and make absolutely zero sense. And for some reason, it was on the floor. Why? I'm not quite sure. I'm going to trim that down a little bit because
and just trim my sentiment down. And then I'm just going to cut that on a bit of a slant. So with the sentiment, I'm going to actually adhere some glue, and then on the side, the flat side, I'm going to add a dimensional because that's actually going to sit, one side's going to sit on the dimensional cloud and one's not. So I'm going to need a dimensional on this side to make sure it's even. So I'm just going to adhere that like so. Then I'm going to bring in my stars. So with the stars, I'm going to adhere a big one of the mediums, and a little one. So I'm not quite sure where. It doesn't.
too much. Tuck some into the clouds. Oh, thanks, Christina. How are you going? Oh, hello, Shelley. It must be my sound. As soon as I move away,
My phone is playing up big time with the sound.
so I'm hoping I need to get a new phone. Yeah. It's driving me bonkers. Right, so now with this piece here,
Must be driving you guys bonkers. Can you hear me now? Oh, how frustrating for you all. I'm not sure if you can hear me now. Oh, I think I'm gonna have to suck it up and get a new phone sooner rather than later. Okay, so I'm gonna place that back in, and I'm gonna take my Misty Moonlight marker, and I'm just gonna flick some Misty Moonlight over.
and then I'm going to grab some, this is a pen we don't want. I'm going to flick some Wink and Stella over the card. And then I can take that back out. I just didn't want to get it over the pieces that are in there. So then I'm going
to grab some. Ooh, I'm throwing stuff everywhere.
I'm going to take some little basic rhinestones and tuck them in as well. So there you have it. That is.
Well, there's two different types really, because one's rose gold and one is gold, because Kayla has been using the stack of paper like crazy, and now only has one sheet left of a full sheet. So definitely want to keep this paper around because I'm loving it. So there's the two different cards with the fun give it a whirl mechanism that makes a really fun interactive card. So I really hope you guys enjoyed a bit of a different card that was a bit fun to make, and it's not as hard as it looks. It's really fun. So I hope you enjoyed that today. It was a really quick, I'll turn the camera around to have a quick chat. Yep. Oh, I hope you enjoyed it. It was really super fun to come on and make a quick card with you all. I've got to go and make and film a couple videos for tutorials and get ready for my son to come home from school, and then mum life. So I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, guys, that the Join Plus promotion ends today. Happy to chat to anyone that's interested. So I'm going to love you all and leave you. Happy crafting, guys. As always, thank you guys for watching. Love you all. Bye.